And a good Saturday morning to you and how you be. Welcome into Inside 300, presented by InsideTheMagic.com. I'm your host, Brian Perry, and thank you for tuning in. As always, we'll go around the worlds of Disney and Universal in just 300 seconds. But before we do that, let's take a second and talk about the week that was. Because on Tuesday's episode, things got off to a bizarre start. We showcased that video of the woman jumping out of her boat on Living with the Land to grab a cucumber. If you haven't seen that yet, it's highly recommended and incredibly infuriating. On Thursday's episode, we talked about Scarlett Johansson producing and starring in a new movie about the Tower of Terror. And now on this weekend edition of Inside 300, we're going to kick things off with Contemporary Resort. That's because Disney finally released their first promotional images of the Incredibles overlay that's going in each guest room. Reactions have been mixed. Some people love it, some people hate it. Let us know where you stand in the comments below, because from what I can tell, it is right down the middle. We've got a few other stories to get to, so let's kick things off on this Saturday morning. Let's start the clock and talk about the redesigned rooms over at Contemporary Resort, as we got our first look this week. Currently, all 9 floors of guest rooms are being refurbished in order to debut this fall with new Incredibles theming. Promotional images and video released by Disney feature pillows with both fashion icon Edna Mode and supersuit wearing Frozone. The closet houses the Incredible Family supersuits on a wallpaper, which is a nice touch. The entire aesthetic of the guest rooms plays up to the retro-modern vibe often seen in both The Incredibles and Incredibles 2. The redesign of the nearly 50-year-old hotel isn't exclusive to the rooms either. New modern art pieces, as well as historical behind-the-scenes photographs of Contemporary, will now flood the gigantic lobby. All this goes on while Contemp's fellow monorail hotel, the Polynesian Resort, gets a Moana overlay. The use of characters being inserted into these iconic resorts has many Disney fans split. Brian Drew on Twitter provides our first yowza, which I would assume is a negative, while others think the new rooms provide them extra incentive to actually stay there. Over on Instagram, we have fans straight up saying, "No chance I'll stay there anymore." And Disney fan Dana thinks the theming fits more with a value resort a la Pop Century rather than a deluxe one. I personally love the retheming. Contemporary has been my favorite Disney resort alongside Wilderness Lodge since the early 90s. This doesn't negatively affect my view of it. At the end of the day, we go to Disney property to escape reality and be surrounded by the stories and lands that we've come to love. A new wallpaper featuring a highly popular Disney brand drawn up to match the vibe of the resort is understandable to me. It might even add a little something. All in all, I think the company did a good job in finding an IP in The Incredibles that fits pretty seamlessly with one of their original hotels, and the same goes for Moana. Now, I know a lot of people are tired of the IPs being forced down our throat, but I usually love them, so it doesn't bother me. When you make your way down from the Contemporary rooms, keep descending past Chef Mickey's and step foot off of the escalator to head right into the Wave of American Flavors restaurant. Well, you can do that until July 15th, because along with the aforementioned guest rooms, the Wave will be shutting down as Disney refurbishes the space in time for the 50th anniversary. No word on if this too will feature a Pixar or Incredibles overlay. The building, of course, already houses Chef Mickey's character buffet, so it'd be relatively surprising to see more characters appear at the more budget-friendly option. Though the menu for the upcoming refurbed location isn't available yet, so I should hold off on calling it budget-friendly. Disney always goes above and beyond in attempting to immerse guests inside the lands within their theme parks. It may have been a little hard the other day for people visiting Disneyland's Mickey's Toontown because they were greeted by the sights and sounds of construction cranes and demolition crews. Tremendous travel blogger The Cali Bay's Instagram account shared this footage of the old gag factory being torn down in broad daylight. It's pretty rare to be able to get this up close to active construction within a Disney park. The gag factory merchandise location is of course being kicked aside in order to make room for Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. The new attraction will be identical to the one in Hollywood Studios, which opened in March of 2020. But unlike Disney World's, this version won't be replacing a beloved attraction. It has been 12,509 days since the first Disney retail store opened its doors in Glendale, California. Unfortunately, the Pioneer only has a few weeks left. When visiting the store's official website, this banner details the sad announcement. Like many companies, Disney is shifting its retail focus to e-commerce and online shopping, and thus closing their physical locations throughout the country that are filled with so many memories. A deal was struck with Target a few years back that creates small Disney store-esque areas within the Target retail locations, though don't expect there to be a castle to crawl through in the tiny areas. When speaking to a Disney representative about the exact closing date for the Glendale location, they said, "I don't know, but it'll be before July 14th. Harrison Ford was significantly injured on the set of Indiana Jones 5 while rehearsing a fight scene. The extent of the injury has not been disclosed, but Disney has now reconfigured their filming schedule to work around a potential lengthy recovery. The 78-year-old legend had joined the production of the movie earlier this month. Logan director James Mangold is taking over the directing reins from Steven Spielberg, who is still serving as a producer. The film is slated for a July 2022 release. Thanks so much for tuning into episode 19 of Inside 300. Remember, let us know what you think about the contemporary resort updates. Are you all for it? Do you absolutely hate the usage of more IPs? I understand both sides, so be sure to comment below. If you like what you saw, be sure to subscribe. Click that bell icon and be notified every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday morning when we come to you with brand new live episodes. I'm Brian Perry, and as always,
bye-bye.